Hey guys, today I'm joined by Tim Drummond, celebrity PT to brides and fitness coach, fitbiz coach. So super excited to hear what he's done. He's had a really interesting career transition from big box gym trainer through to celebrity PT to now working with PTs all across the world. So Tim, my man, how are you?
I'm awesome. I'm really good. Looking forward to this.
Tim, you were talking to me just before. How did you get into this business? What was it that made you decide, hey, I'm going to go after working with brides specifically, and why did you do that?
Awesome. Well, I mean, we just kind of had a chat about it, but main thing was like as I said, I nearly did it like 3 years before, and this is kind of a big insight, by the way, to anyone who's thinking about like I want to create a bit of a niche. I nearly did it like 3 years before I did. But then I got someone to build my website for me, and they just told me it was a stupid idea. They're like, you can't find people like that. You're going to miss out on everyone. And I kind of listened to them stupidly. And I built this crappy website, which was basically just the same as everyone else's. And then it was always in my mind. I was like, I'm just the same as everyone else. I stand there in my Fitness First t-shirt and everyone walks through the door, and in their mind I can say what I want, but they kind of see me as just as everyone else. And then I kind of learned a bit more about business, and then around that time I had a bride client as well, and she just did everything that I said. Like, it was, the compliance levels was just ridiculous. I mean, this was in person, but she would just do anything that I said. Like AM cardio, she was eating like meat for breakfast, all the kind of crazy stuff that I kind of used to do back in the day. But the results were just amazing because it was so important to her. And I was like, man, I should have done this a while ago. And then I kind of just grew some balls, and I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to go down that route. I just decided. And then, like, as I kind of decided and started putting this out there, I just started getting business straight away. And then I was like, right, this is going to kind of be where I'm going to go. I always wanted to stand out a little bit as well. And I knew that, like in any industry, like you've got to be different to everyone else. So it was partly the business thing, but it was also just enjoyment as well. Like, I loved getting results with clients, and actually having a client that stand in front of me that would actually do the work, which was kind of awesome as well.
I suppose to have that emotional commitment, they've got the set date of something's coming up they need to be ready for.
I mean, like, I do a lot of, the stuff I teach now online is about body transformation. It's about 12-week programs, start, middle, end, understand like why they want to do this, create that emotional attachment in their brain, future pace them, like get them to create a story. I mean, you probably couldn't think of a better clientele that have got this burning. I mean, they've been thinking about this since they were. It's a bit cliche, so if any girls or women are listening to this, don't have a go at me, because it might not be you. But 90% of people have thought about what they're going to look like on their wedding day a long time before they even met the dude. So, it's already there. It's just your job as a coach to be able to kind of harness it. And yeah, it was business. Financially, it just makes so much sense. But the enjoyment of actually having clients that do what you say, and then you get to the end of the 12 weeks, and I was like, one of my clients, she lost like 50 pounds, not in 12 weeks, by the way. She lost like 50 pounds. And I was just like, man, this is awesome. It's such fun.
Yeah, brilliant. You mentioned that you started putting it out there. What does it actually mean? How do you go about your marketing for this particular?
Yeah, sure. Do you know what? And I actually talked about this the other day in a training I did. Like the another good thing about brides. So if anyone's listening and thinking of doing this, like, bloody go ahead. It's a fantastic marketplace. The first thing that I did is I simply just asked people I knew, my clients for starters, and anyone else, do you know anyone who's getting married? And it's like, if you ask someone, like, do you know anyone who wants to lose weight? Like, everyone does, but no one does. There's no kind of ability to go. If you ask someone, do you know someone who's getting married? Like, almost everyone I asked went, after a little bit of coaching, a little bit of come on, you must. They were like, yeah, I do actually. I was like, fantastic. Can I just get to speak to them? And that was the first clients that I got on board. I just asked them, like, I want to just speak to these people and find out about, like, what brides go through, like, what they want to achieve, all of that kind of. And look, I kind of realised as soon as I started speaking to a few of them that, like, I know how to have a conversation around sales, and it's kind of the same thing as coaching. You're getting the same questions, and the first one that actually came on board, we were going through the conversation because I went and met her and just had coffee with her, and I was just like, this is what I'm doing. I just want to find out a little bit about what your aims are, all that kind of stuff. And I just knew, like, within 5 minutes that this girl was going to want some help. Like it, and again, like with brides, 90% of them want to do something around their health and fitness. Like one of my really well-known clients, she's a model. She was ex-Miss England. She was on the front of Hello magazine. Like, she did not need to lose weight, clearly, but she wanted to do she wanted to be like in the best shape she's been. She wanted to tone her arms a bit, all this kind of cool stuff. So that was kind of the first move. Like, it was no create a website. There was no spend age. I was just like, right, just get out. I'm a big believer in just getting out on the field and like going and taking action and then figure it out as you go along.
Brilliant. So really working your warm market first.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. From there, I know you've had a lot of major press coverage as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you went about that and how that actually impacted your business as well? Like, what was the result of cool. That kind of stuff?
I kind of like, there's the and I didn't know this at the time. There's that kind of, is it Kevin Bacon? You're always 5 steps from Kevin Bacon. I don't know if is that the guy, isn't it? Like, you're always like connected to people, you know, and how many steps would it be to get to speak to a certain person? And I was always just mindful of that. And I was like, even when I was a PT, I was in gym box. And I just, I trained, I spoke to a girl who was just on the treadmill, a cross trainer, and I was just talking to her. And then, you know, she's like, oh, I'm in PR. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, PR, cool. You know, I can chat to her, like, maybe, you know, wanted to help her as well. And then it turns out I did a free session with her, and it turns out her sister's a journalist for the Sunday Times. And I was like, okay, cool. And I'm always kind of thinking that, like, how can I give some great value to her? I did. She actually was one of my bridal clients, by the way. And then eventually I got an introduction to her sister. You know, and I was always thinking like at one point I got, like, I'm friends with the editor of Hello magazine on Facebook, and I've sent her a copy. She reached out, she asked for a copy of my first book. That was just because I'm always like, okay, how can I have a conversation with people? How can I find the people that I want to get connected to? And it's, you know, don't get me wrong, it's not it's a longer game. But I was always had that mindset of like, how can I get to the people that I want to? So it was like, always like anyone in PR, anyone who was a journalist, whether that was in person or online, a connection and building that connection. I wrote a list of like the 10 people that were getting married that year in like society and famous people. And this was kind of weird. And then I had a stall at Brides the Show. So they asked me to come and speak there, and then I had a stall there. And I was just standing there, and randomly these 2 people walked past. They were walking up, and one of them was one of the people that won that list. She was an opera singer. She was getting married to quite a well-known author's son, but he's quite well-known as well. So they were going to be on the front of Hello magazine. And I just started chatting to him. And it's kind of those things, like, you make your own luck with this. There's no way that I ever would have even known who they were, by the way. But I ended up getting his business card. Like, I didn't get him or her as a client, but it was always like, right, how can I take those steps one step further than just what it seems like on the surface? And then I would just, like, you know, I'd speak to... Here's the big takeaway, is, like, make it personal. So if I can build a relationship with someone, it's way more powerful than having a PR. And look, by the way, obviously there's a reason to have PR at some point because they do the work for you. But I actually interviewed one of I got a double page spread in the Express because I met this dude at a party, and he was a journalist there. And I actually interviewed him after, said, do you mind, I'm doing this stuff for Fit Pros. I'd like to kind of get your opinion on how to get press coverage. He was like, and we were kind of mates. And he was like, yeah, of course. And he just told me, he was like, I would much prefer someone to pick the phone up and speak to me and say, I've got this idea for an article. Would you like to feature it? Than have like PR people call up that kind of, you know, they don't really give a shit. And he's like, it's boring talking to them. And so my suggestion would be like make it personal and just, you know, and connect to the people. Like, write a list of all the journalists that write about health, figure a way out. Because it does, like, I'm definitely an action first person. I'm not like, let's spend 3 years trying to get coverage. But it does, of course, you know, it does add authority. It does bring clients to you to a certain extent directly. I've got loads of coverage in lots of good magazines. It definitely helps, especially when you're kind of charging the higher prices. Like it can help. It's not the only thing, but it can help a lot when people go to your website and you've got kind of celebrity clients and media and all that kind of cool stuff.
Brilliant. So sort of recognition kind of stuff that allows you to charge an extra price because they've got that trust in you.
Automatically. So someone arrives and they've already got the perception that you obviously know what you're doing. But you do need to know what you're doing as well, by the way. So, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So are you still running this business, and what is the business?
Yeah, so 12-week body transformations. I help brides lose 2 dress sizes in 12 weeks. It's an online coaching program. I do that. I do some Fit Pro marketing or coaching, whatever you want to call it, mentoring. And I do some email campaigns with some guys who've kind of been marketing with big lists. So I do those 3 things.
Okay. When you say Fit Pro marketing, what kind of stuff are you doing, and what can Fit Pros learn from you today?
I do mentoring. So
okay.
I know the mentoring kind of gig has been rubbish a bit, and I get all that. So I've seen it myself as well. So I love doing it.
I guess it helps you actually coming from a place where you've done it yourself to actually understand what they're going through.
Of course, and I've learned you can sell online coaching. If you could learn how to sell it from someone who understands sales and marketing, but the problem then becomes is if you I charge a lot of money, and my guys in my mentorship charge a good price. The issue becomes if you sell something and then you don't actually deliver on the result of the actual transformation. That's not a good place to be. So my hope is I can help my guys understand how to sell it, how to market it, but then actually how do you deliver a 12-week transformation? How do you get results from someone online when you're never standing next to them? So that's my aim, to help them with all sales, marketing, and delivery. And I do some stuff with.
Really good question right there. Is what should anyone who's in the PT business who are trainers themselves be looking for in their potential mentors, coaches, and what should they look out for as well?
Hey, look, I'm kind of, I'm transparent. So, for me, and by the way, I'll be honest, I haven't always been of this mind. So, I'm not judging anyone who does it any other way. I think transparency is important. If you want to get on, someone's mentorship, if you're cool, again, I'm not being judgmental. Be honest. I'm open. I'll tell people how much it costs. If you want to get my help, this is what it costs. So I think transparency is important. Obviously, results. But I think the big thing is it's about making sure that not only you choose the right person for you if you're a PT, but the mentor also chooses the right people for their programs. I generally speaking would not suggest that anyone who comes, what I do is it's high ticket, it's based around it's the simpletons version. I'm a total tech dunce, so I've got no clue about how to run complicated funnels and all that kind of stuff, and so I'm just look, this is what I'm good at. I deliver an hour or 45-minute coaching call every week to my fitness clients. I'm a good coach. So I would say figure out who's done what you want to do. So if you want to sell $99 programs and you want to sell thousands of them, I'm not your man. I ain't got a bloody clue how to do that. If you want to go for the kind of high ticket, understand that you need to be a coach. You do need to understand behavior change, or that would certainly be my suggestion. So I don't take people on generally unless they've been a PT for at least 3 years. They should be getting great results offline already, and clients saying things like you've changed my life, but you've done it through not just I'm a trainer, and there is a difference for me. You want to be a coach. So I would say that when you're looking at someone's marketing, they should be telling you who they don't work with. So if they're just accepting anyone out of PT School 101 and you're going to go into a program where they're going to teach you how to sell fitness stuff for £1,000, I'm not saying it doesn't work for some, but I would be a little bit I'm not sure if someone's ready for that. So I think transparency, There's a Fit Pro mentoring site on Facebook. Go in and have a look in there. Like, take a pinch of salt with you. But there's lots of places you can find out from who's a fit for you. Because I actually think that it's a bit like diets. Unless you are absolutely taking the piss as a mentor, like, most of these guys will get a result for the right person. It's just they won't get a result for the wrong person. So again, in my situation, I'm not techie. I've never done it myself. It's not something that I would do. I think you can make a reasonable amount of money without being techie as well, by the way. Well, I certainly
it's marketing 101. So. It's marketing 101. Anything that you can be done offline can be done online, etc. as well. I think with yourself, you just have a very specific approach to who you work with and how it works well.
And hopefully I put that across a little bit more. And again, I think if you go and speak to someone, like, there's a process. Who's right for you? Do you know anyone who's worked with them? Is it good or bad? All that kind of stuff. So, like, I actually give a results guarantee. Like, I've not seen anyone else do it, but I'm sure someone does. Like, the initial investment for my program, I'll guarantee that someone makes their money back and gets into profit within about 6 weeks. So, like, I'm not stupid enough to do that and then take someone on board who's not the right fit for my program, because it's not going to end. I've put my ass on the line. Yeah. So, that for me is real transparency. Like, if I would accept you as a client, I'm going to do it for the right reasons. Otherwise, I'm totally shooting myself in the foot. So, but I would say, like, and I don't know if you agree with me, Josh, like if you want to be successful, like, you just, it's so much easier and quicker to get help from someone who's done it themselves or helped other people, because I didn't for too long, and it's just, everything is so much harder. Like, it really is. And if you want to get your clients to invest big money with you and you're not willing to be that client yourself, I'm sure some people make it work, but I would just say, like,
I think it's just like what you said there, that whole idea of everything works to a degree. Everyone's got something that works. It'll work for a specific person, but you need to be able to find out who's the right person for the way you want to work. And 100%. Ideally, if you want someone who understands more broader scope, make sure they understand the foundations of marketing, how people think. If that's what they understand, it's transferable. But if they only understand one approach and they've only ever done one approach, you want to find the person that is the right one for you then.
And I think, like, there's a course on John Goodman's course, the Online Trainers Certification Academy, whatever it's called. It's one of the two anyway. And I love what John's done. He's basically kind of said, here's all the ways of making online work. Here's all the guys that are kind of doing it. Like, this is how they've done it. We're going to give you all of that information, and then you can decide from there which one's right for you. And I think that's fantastic. Like, that's not what I do. And that's not what some other guys that I know do. I'm like, I ain't got a clue how to do that. Like, I don't know how to sell $99 programs and sell thousands of them. My head's just like, if we were like in an IT class, I'd be at the back with like a dunce hat on. Like, that's me. I'm just a total dunce when it comes to tech. But I'm a good coach, and I know how to help people become good coaches, and so they can deliver fantastic results and charge a lot of money just by having a half-hour coaching call every week with their clients. Like, that's what I'm good at. The other stuff, yeah.
Brilliant. All right, mate. If people want to learn more about what you do and your methods, where can they go?
Cool. You can check out my website, my blog, thebreedmastermind.com. Generally speaking, I would say the best place to hook up is Facebook. I like Facebook. Like, we connected on Facebook. Like, exactly. I like it. It's awesome. I love it. Like I always tell my fitness clients, like, wealthy people don't hang around on Facebook. I'm like, yes, they do. Everyone does. Like, on Facebook. So connect on Facebook. Like, I think it's great fun as well. So probably the best place to do is to connect with me on Facebook at facebook.com/TimDrummond.com. So TimDrummond.com. The only rule I have, just to make sure that someone's not a catfish or one of those weird stalkers, is that if you add me on there, you have to say hello. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, dude, what the fuck you added me for? So that's the only rule I have.
Love it. Thanks, Tim. And guys, we'll see you all on the next episode. Until then, enjoy your day and we'll see you soon.